Can we please have quiet on the set?
Awesome! I came to play. There's a price to pay. Time for you to get down on your knees. I came to say goodbye to the good old days. They're never coming back. Watch your future. I came to play. Get my dues paid. I guess you had a dream, but it can't be saved. I came to play. I came to play. There's a price to pay. Time for you to get down on your knees. I came to say goodbye to the good old days. They're never coming back. Watch your future. I came to play. Get my dues paid. I guess you had a dream, but it can't be saved. I came to play. Run away if you see me. Don't even say my name. Don't think that you can know me. Don't try and play that game. Every day that I get better, I watch as you get worse. My script is to the letter, and I'll write your final verse. I am here to stay, and I have come to play. I came to play. There's a price to pay. Time for you to get down on your knees. I came to say goodbye to the good old days. They're never coming back. Watch your future. I came to play. Get my dues paid. I guess you had a dream, but it can't be saved. I came to play.
Oh, the weekend is almost here, folks, and do we have a show, an NBL Super Show tonight. Dual games going on live once again, as we've got a couple of great battles. We've got the Cardinals and the Saints facing off in the NFC and the AFC. We've got a divisional matchup between the Colts and the Texans. Before we get there, as always, folks, we have our NBL Live pregame show brought to you each and every week by our graphic sponsor, Web3KS.com. They do so much for our NBL network, including doing some of those overlays and graphics you see across the network. If you or anyone you know needs graphics done for an affordable price, hit up Web3KS.com. Let them know NBL sent you. You'll get 15% off your entire order. Web3KS.com, the leaders in affordable graphic design. Thanks so much for hanging out with us tonight, folks. I'm OSU. I'm hanging out with my man, the Commish Bomber. NBL Super Show is live once again with dual stream in action. It doesn't get better. There's no better way to kick off the weekend than with a little NBL Super Show.
Absolutely. Broadcast number 244, and it just gets sweeter as we go. I can't wait till we get to 250. But we got a great matchup in store tonight, a division rivalry game between the Indianapolis Colts and the Houston Texans. Then on the other side, we have an NFC game. We got the Arizona Cardinals taking on the struggling New Orleans Saints. They paid Tyrod Taylor $20 million a year. Say
20 mil? That's a lot of bones.
Man, the Saints are notorious for paying $20 million plus for players on their team that just haven't really performed. And right now, Tyrod Taylor has not looked that great.
Should be a great night of action here. If it's your first time joining us for a Super Show, you're in for a treat. But we got to get to a segment right now, as I believe we have calling in right now our very own Bleacher Report Commissioner Timbo. I'm calling him Commish. I like the name. Timbo, happy Friday. Are you pumped for the weekend? Are you pumped for this NBL Super Show?
Oh, yeah, man. It's a big night for us, man. You know how it is. Super Show, dual stream, new effects, new to the game. You know how NBL does it.
Yeah, it should be a great way to kick off the weekend. Of course, Bleacher Report joining us each and every NBL Live. Give us some news and notes from around the NBL. Some of those teams maybe you aren't seeing here on NBL Live, but there's plenty of action. So, Timbo, what do you got for me? What's going on around the NBL?
Well, we're going to start down in Carolina, where I just found out from very own Porter that he's re-signed linebacker Shaq Thompson to a 4-year extension worth about $26 million. Nice deal, showing up that front seven with Luke Kuechly there as well. So good get for them. On the injury front, was able to catch up with the Cowboys. They have lost 3 players to injury, all in the most recent game to the Giants. We have 4 weeks here for Tyrone Crawford, broken toe. Zeke out 3 weeks with broken ribs. I'm also hearing that Randall Cobb suffered a abdominal injury for 5 weeks as well. So definitely some hurt and some wear and tear going on down in Big D.
Yeah, man. Dallas, let's talk about it because those are two pretty big players. Let's set aside Zeke for one moment. Randall Cobb was a guy they expected to pick up a bulk of the share of the catches. We've seen them throw a lot to Will Tye and to Zeke Elliott, but Randall Cobb was sort of this guy they were expecting a lot of. 5 weeks for him. How's this going to affect that passing game?
Well, you got to see that, especially with the targets going to Cobb, and he's been that big play, that big play guy, that reliable guy for them. You got to see how they start to distribute the ball around the field now. We gotta wonder how, are they going to have that big play threat? Who's going to be reliable on third down? Those type of situations. And now they definitely have to see what the run game is going to be for them. Make sure that Zeke, he's out. So everything is affected right now in the offense end for Dallas.
Is there any worry in Dallas about Zeke getting back? A broken ribs, that's a pretty big injury, especially for a guy who takes as many hits that he does. Is there any concern about him coming back, or are they pretty confident that after 3 weeks Zeke's going to be 100%?
Oh, talking to Zach, he's pretty much saying that there's not too much that they're worried about. Zeke has had some injuries where, he's gotten hurt in the game, but, come back the following week. So they're kind of used to it. They're hoping that it won't be a continuing trend. But after a couple of weeks, they're expecting Zeke to be back and ready to go.
All right, now before we let you get out of here, Timbo, got to get your predictions for today's games. 2 games on tap, Saints and Cardinals in the NFC, and we got Texans and Colts in AFC South matchup. Who do you like in those games?
I think I'll go with the Cardinals. And I'm
Serps
probably gonna
boys.
look at the Colts tonight. I think I'll go with the Colts tonight. I think the Colts get a good win. A nice strong win to solidify their resume this season. I think they get a win tonight, probably maybe a 1-possession game.
All right, Timbo, where can guys find you on Twitter?
Well, this is how it works in BR. This is how it works in BR. Real quick, breaking news here.
Breaking news.
We have 49ers just put the pen to the paper. DeForest Buckner, 5 years, $67 million.
67 for Buckner. Wow.
67. He deserves every penny. Is what I'm getting here. He deserves every penny, and we are happy to have him. So yes, 5 years, $67 million for 49ers DN, DeForest Buckner.
Wow, new ownership in 49ers already making moves. Timbo, where can they find you on Twitter?
Oh, you know that, at @NBL_Bleacher. That's at @NBL_Bleacher. Everything going on. If you're not getting it directly from Bleacher Report, you're going to also see what's going on around the league from other teams. Just keep your eyes going on what's going on with us. Everything from injuries to who's going to resign, who's not going to resign, and we got some draft coverage coming very soon, so stay tuned.
Should be awesome. Timbo, appreciate it as always. Thanks for calling in, and have yourself a wonderful weekend. We'll catch you on the other side.
Cool. Thank you for having me.
That, of course, was Timbo from our own NBL Bleacher Report. Of course, you can find them at NBL_Bleacher. Bomber, the breaking news coming in during that phone call. DeForest Buckner, 5 years, $67 million to the 49ers. New ownership in San Francisco. That's a guy they knew they had to lock up.
Yeah, absolutely. You look at this player right here and you think, okay, this guy's got to be a staple of our team. We got to get him locked and loaded for the future. And they bring in the defensive tackle. They extend his contract. 6 years left. They extend him another 5. Big-time deal. It's a $25 million signing bonus. For the star development, 6'7", 300-pound from Oregon University, DeForest Buckner, number 99. I mean, this kid, 25 years old, and you get to kind of solidify that D-tackle spot. 6'7", 300 pounds. This is a big boy.
Shout out to Timbo and Jamie in the chat with their 9 months of subscribing. Let's get to our players to watch for today's Super Show games. Starting off with the Texans and the Colts. For the Texans, of course, we've got DeAndre Hopkins, 14 catches. His longest catch, though, this year, Bomber, only 23 yards, averaging 13.6 per catch, and only 1 touchdown. Is there any concern that DeAndre Hopkins, this guy who has been a deep threat, this guy who has been their main source of offense, is there any concern that his numbers are relatively low to start the season?
Yeah, you look at DeAndre Hopkins and you start questioning his production early on. I mean, he's 27 years old. Once you hit 28, the regression could creep in, star development. But I'm not concerned just yet. I mean, this is a team that's faced Jacksonville, Denver, and Buffalo, 3 pretty good defensive teams. Jacksonville, one of the elite defensive teams in the NBL. The Denver Broncos right there with them. And they've been struggling to put up points. When they beat the Jacksonville Jaguars, it was a 9-0 game, 3 field goals. So that's a tough game. And then the Denver Broncos, they lost 27-7. I know they beat the Buffalo Bills 24-10, but they were down 10-3 at halftime in that game. So this offense has been stagnant out of the gate, but I like to look at it relatively speaking. DeAndre Hopkins is still looking good. He's got 1 drop on 14 catches, a $191 yards, 1 touchdown. Definitely down from last year, but he didn't reach 1,000 yards last year. He did have 69 receptions and fell just shy with 922 yards. So I think he can still kind of pick it up for the 27-year-old Clemson University standout.
Shout out to Cool Del Guy with his 6 months of subscribing in the chat. On the other side for the Indianapolis Colts, Andrew Luck is having a stellar start to the season. 131.5 passer rating. I assume that we're missing a number there from the passing yards. It says he only has 57.5. I assume it's a couple more than that. 4 touchdowns, 1 interception. Luck is so key for this Colts team, Bomber, because they like to air it out because they don't really have a running game to speak of.
It's been a struggle as we're covering them on Building the Franchise. Indianapolis Colts are going to have their Week 5 game. The game after this game, we're going to have it Sunday, 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on YouTube.com/Madden Bomber League. Episode number 3, they're going to be taking on the red-hot Tampa Bay Buccaneers. So make sure you check that out Sunday night, 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. But yes, we're going to talk about Andrew Luck and his kind of struggles. I know they're 2-1 right now, looking to improve to 3-1 tonight against this Houston Texans team. But man, Andrew Luck, you know, with the injuries that come along with Andrew Luck, you need to see a little bit better of production in 3 games, only 4 touchdowns, but he does have a 131 QBR. He is throwing 79% completion, so it isn't all too bad. You just like to see that touchdown number just be a little bit higher, somewhere between 7 to 10 touchdowns already. Slightly off, but hopefully he picks it up later in the season.
Jamie has said in the chat it's supposed to be 575 yards, so there you go. As we look at our other game for the New Orleans Saints, Michael Thomas, Bomber, this is a guy, the #1 receiver in New Orleans, only 11 catches on the year, 126 yards, no touchdowns. This Saints team, as you said, Bomber, struggle. They are on the struggle bus. They might be the driver of the struggle bus at this point. They're going to need this guy to get going if they're going to have any hope of winning tonight.
And what was sad is when we had the Commissioner Corner podcast, and we abruptly went off the air midstream, I was about to lay into these New Orleans Saints. I had abbreviation all laid out real nicely, and I'm going to do it now. TMM, too much movement. When I see a team just completely moving, I got a cut on my leg. When I see a team just completely moving so much in the offseason, I'm going, okay, you made the playoffs last year. You were you were a tough team, a solid #2 in the division, a definite wild card in the NFC. Why so much change? I understand you lost Drew Brees, but I think they went into a free agency class that wasn't too deep, and they got way too aggressive. They brought in Anthony Barr. They bring in Tyrod Taylor. Not really working out because these are not essentially game-changer players. I know we really like Anthony Barr, and we like to believe, he's going to be this big-time focus for this defense, but I just don't see him as that game changer that they paid so much money to, the 27-year-old. I mean, he's making $14.82. Tyrod Taylor's making 20+. That's $35 million between 2 players that they just went out and got. And Tyrod's 30+, and Anthony Barr's 27. These are all declining players. Yeah. Struggling team right now. Let's see if Michael Thomas can kind of get it together and get some confidence back in Tyrod Taylor, or we might see a change at quarterback and Ryan Tannehill might come in. Because you look on the season for Tyrod Taylor, not looking good. I mean, we're talking on the season, 1 touchdown, 5 interceptions week 1. Week 3, 1 touchdown, 5 interceptions. Now, we had a good game versus Carolina against the Colts and against the New York Giants. Combined 2 touchdowns, 10 interceptions, and 10 sacks. That's not good.
That's no bueno. And for the Arizona Cardinals, of course, David Johnson is the guy that they're going to lean on because the passing attack just hasn't been as consistent as they'd like it to. Johnson's averaging 4.6 per carry, but only 152 yards and 2 touchdowns. How important is it, Bomber, for the Cardinals to feed David Johnson tonight and not get too pass happy?
You got to go David Johnson early, often, and always. I never want to see a 3-and-out today. This is what I'm going to be looking for OSU, and I want us to keep our eyes peeled on this game. I do not want to see any 3-and-outs in which David Johnson does not either A, run the ball or touch the ball in the passing game. He's got to be a high-volume player here for this team. He's your top player on the team. He's 93 overall. Making $8.25 million. Let's utilize him. 4.6 yards per carry.
$8.25 million, by the way, is a full $12 million less than Tyrod Taylor.
It is a full 12. Hey, that's quick math, OSU. I appreciate that. 4.6 yards per carry, 2 touchdowns, but I haven't seen David Johnson in the receiving game like I like to see it so far. It's been J.J. Nelson Jermaine Kearse, Josh Hill, Jermaine Gresham, and
A lot of
Christian Kirk.
J's. Wow.
Yeah, a lot of J. Actually, you know, that's 4 J's in a row. And then J.J. Nelson is double J's. Shout out to Jeff Jarrett.
Broke 10,000 guitars, didn't draw a dime. Let's get to the prediction so we can get the Super Show underway. Bomber, first off, Saints, Cardinals, two teams looking to get on the right track. Who do you like in that ballgame?
Saints, Cardinals, I like the Saints, but I wouldn't be surprised if it's much closer than it should be. And Cardinals could come away with it, but I'm going to go with the Saints 20-17 over Arizona.
And how about in this AFC South early divisional matchup between the Texans and the Colts?
I'm going Colts all the way. I think Colts are going to blow them out. I think we're looking at a 35-17 style game right here. Unless the Houston Texans can get pressure to Andrew Luck, which they have the potential. They got Jadeveon Clowney. They have J.J. Watt. There's opportunities.
Another double J.
It's another double J. Jeff Jarrett. See, I'm having problems even saying it right now. But the Houston Texans have the personnel to get to the quarterback, and the Indianapolis Colts are susceptible as a very suspect offensive line. So that could be a changing of the game, but I still think the Colts are going to run away with it. But my prediction is 35-17, and if it's close, maybe we'll see a 27-20, 24-20 game.
All right, folks.
Maybe 3 predictions in 1.
That's pretty good. That's we got twice the games, 3 times the predictions. It is crazy here on NBL Live, broadcast 244. If you haven't seen one of these shows, you are in for a treat because we're kicking off the weekend the right way. Coming up next, it's an NBL Live Super Show featuring dual screen action. The Saints and the Cardinals facing off in the NFC, and an AFC South matchup between the Texans and the Colts. You'll see them both. You'll see them right now here on NBL Live.
I just want to say, hey man, this is T.O., the cover athlete of the Madden 19 Hall of Fame edition, and you're watching the gold standard of the franchise mode, the NBL Network. Holla.
Empty backfield for Atkins. He's been dropping back to pass here on 4th down. He's looking deep over the middle. He has a man. It's Brandon Cooks who catches it, makes a man miss.
Oh, that's
Woodard is
touchdown.
dropping back. He's got open over the middle. It's
Wow. That big playmaker ability
at
as
him
he
go.
finds him again.
into the end zone. Another touchdown. NBL Super Show is live, folks. Dual screen action on your left. We've got the Cardinals and the Saints on your right. We've got a big play already as the Colts take it right up the middle, all the way down to the 35-yard line. We will flip between these two games. You'll see them both on the screen. You'll get to see them both zoomed in. You'll get plenty of NBL action on this Friday night. NBL broadcast 244. Appreciate each and every one of you tuning in. I'm OSU. I'm hanging out with my man Bomber. Bomber, twice the games means twice the big plays. We've already seen one in that AFC matchup.
Yeah, absolutely. Right now we're seeing some tremendous special teams play, especially on the Indianapolis Colts side. Just looking phenomenal so far as they return it down to the 35-yard line.
Phenomenal, like AJ Styles. Both these teams kicking off, looking to get some big early season wins. As we're watching, let's see, the Colts, little Texas route to start off the game, picking up a nice 5-yard gain on first down. The Cardinals, they come out, they got a 3 tight end set. Looks like they're going to try to pound the ball early. Let's see if they do inside, as it looks like they're changing up the play, and they're going to actually throw the ball on first down, and already a dangerous throw, Bomber, and not giving the ball to David Johnson.
Hey, OSU, on the overlay real quick, it looks like one of the ones is a little too long. So it's like smashing together. You know, that line that's supposed to be between it, the divider?
Yeah, well, here's
it isn't there.
Yeah, that's true. I mean, that's just a fact. I literally spent like 20 minutes trying to fix it.
Oh, it doesn't work?
Here, you talk for a while. I'll keep trying to fix it.
All right, got it. All right, I wanted to tell you the favorite thing I like about this dual screen action is like the best part about it is when the one team is kicking off and the other team hasn't even started kicking off yet. So you get to see like a special teams, a big run, and then another guy's kicking off, and then they're getting into their first down. As you see a pitch to the right side there as the Arizona Cardinals find themselves in a 3rd and 7. This is a manageable 3rd and 7 for this team. Right now, they're finished 11th. They're currently 11th in the league on 3rd and 6 and plus. So this is an opportunity for them to show their guns a little bit and try to pick up this 3rd and 7. Plays into the New Orleans Saints as they brought the newly acquired Anthony Barr. He's making $15 million a year right now. As the Indianapolis Colts stall out on that first drive after that great special teams, they're going to have to get a field goal here.
All right, that's the best it's going to get because XSplit likes to be snappy. The kick is up, and it is good. 3 points for the Indianapolis Colts off that big return. 3rd and 7, dropping back to pass and getting clobbered on 3rd down as that was Jamerson coming around the right side. The Cardinals start off, Bomber, and they have one of those 3-and-outs, and they go backwards 4 yards from where they started. Not a good opening drive for the Arizona Cardinals.
No, not at all. The Arizona Cardinals just pretty much just 3-and-outed and couldn't get anything going. We saw a toss play to David Johnson, nothing on 1st down, and 3rd down they can't get it done. And now they're going to be at the will of this New Orleans Saints highly paid offense that kind of hasn't lived up to the hype, though.
Saints with a nice start to the drive. They actually return the ball all the way back to midfield, so perhaps an opportunity for the Cardinals to flip the field. Instead, some nice special teams work from the New Orleans Saints. They'll start at midfield. The Houston Texans, they'll take the touchback. They'll start at the 25-yard line. Let's watch this Saints team come out. 2 tight ends, 2 wide receivers. Tyrod Taylor, play-action pass. Sits in the pocket. Deep shot. Left side. Has a man. It's caught. They're already in the red zone. Tyrod Taylor must have heard us talking trash in the pregame show and goes, I'm worth 20 mil. Watch this throw.
Yeah, that was an opportunity right there for the user to switch onto that safety, go underneath that pass, because you saw at OSU, that ball kind of hung in the air a little bit. Switch onto the safety and try to make a play and see if you can get a turnover there on Tyrod Taylor.
As we go full screen to the Saints game, and right at the right time, it's Alvin Kamara, shake and bake, 12 yards on that play, a big 1st down. So Bomber, the Cardinals, they needed their defense to stand strong after that 3-and-out, and so far, the Saints are gashing them as they break the huddle on the 5-yard line. It's Tyrod Taylor, 2 tight ends, 2 wide receivers, Alvin Kamara in the backfield as Taylor sending a man in motion on 1st down. It's going to be handoff to Kamara right up the middle, trying to find some room. Not a whole lot there, but he'll pick up 2. Bring up a 2nd and goal from the 3-yard line.
Yeah, we talk about the explosion of Alvin Kamara on the scene. We see it on that first run up the middle, right when you switch to the big screen. We got to see that first run from Alvin Kamara, and how electric and shifty is this halfback. 4.6 yards per carry, and guess what? He hasn't got into the end zone yet, so we might be witnessing his first touchdown of NBL Season 34 right here in Week 3.
Toss play to Kamara. He's got a block, but runs into his own blocker, and he'll go down at the 1-yard line. Bomber, those are the plays that Kamara's just got to find a way to get to the end zone. The blocking was set up. He had the room, and he just decided to try to phase through one of his own players.
The little halfback toss crack, and what are you thinking? Out loud, I'm thinking, okay, that's a walk-in, easy peasy, lemon squeezy, give me 6. Doesn't happen, though. Everything kind of blew up after Alvin Kamara got the ball, but he's got to do a better job falling forward and picking up that touchdown.
Again, coming in motion on 3rd and goal from the 1. They're going to try to throw it. It's Tyrod Taylor dropping back, steps up. He tries to take off, and that Cardinals defensive line collapsed. And Bomber, I'll say it, that was a pitiful attempt on 3rd and goal. You could tell the entire play was to let Tyrod Taylor scramble with the ball, and the Arizona Cardinals were not fooled.
Yeah, that's the issue that you have with Tyrod, is his first instinct is almost to run the ball. And that is not what you want in that situation that quickly. Let the slants come across the field. You had perfect blocking. It was conservative pass rush. You had an opportunity in the pocket to kind of dance for a second and try to make a throw. Instead, he goes too early, tries to take off with his legs.
Well, it's a couple of 3-0 games as we're back to dual screen action. Deshaun Watson shaking off a sack. He'll get back to the line of scrimmage to set up a 3rd and 8, a big 3rd down in that game. Let's go full screen to that one and watch this 3rd down attack from the Houston Texans. As again, they've had a nice little drive. Start on the 25-yard line. They're already down to the 43-yard line, the other side of the 50. But they're looking to convert a big 3rd and 8 because it's a long field goal. It'd be a 60-yard attempt from here. Bomber, in this situation, do you ponder maybe just running the ball to make sure you can get 3, or do you go for it and make sure you pick up first down?
Absolutely. A team like the Texans who struggle to pick up, big plays, this 3rd and 8 might seem like 3rd and forever. Just run the ball up the middle.
Or they go empty backfield and Watson's going to get sacked and they're going to be out of field goal range. So,
and
big
that was
play by Dunlap.
That was a great point you brought up. At 3rd and 8, do you just run the ball, pick up the 2 yards, and kick the field goal? What would have been 57-yard field goal if you picked up 2 yards? It was a 4-man rush that was very conservative as well. It was a drop coverage. You had an opportunity to just take a shot up the middle of the field, just run the ball, a little halfback dive. Maybe you get surprised and pick up 6 or 7 and get yourself an opportunity to pick up the first down.
Second and 2. It's a deep shot for the Cardinals. One-on-one. What a catch at the 6-yard line. Josh Rosen flew that all the way down to the 5. He'll be taken down at the 6. What a throw from Josh Rosen, the now second-year player Bomber. They love this kid. They love his arm.
I'll tell you what. Josh Rosen has some really nice attributes. I'll get them in a second after this drive is over with. But my gosh, that's one of those throws. If you're a Cardinal fan, you're going, no, no, no. Yes, yes, yes.
Hand off to David Johnson over the right side as we go full screen in this one.
Wow.
Oh, he had the touchdown there, Bomber. Got a little outside happy.
Yep. A little too much turbo there. You know that real player motion kind of takes control when you start getting a little turbo happy. He would have just stayed where he was at. He could have just made a little nice little stroll in the park to the right, cut right upfield, and that would have been 6. So 2 missed opportunities from both of these teams. Hopefully the Cardinals don't have to settle for a field goal as well.
Second and goal, 3 tight end set. It's going to be hand off to David Johnson up the middle. He gets clobbered at the 6-yard line. And Bomber, that's the danger with coming out in these big 3 tight end sets. It almost telegraphs that you're running the ball and allows the Saints to put a bunch of guys in the box and make sure there's no room to run.
I'm confused why David Johnson is number 25. Change his number in real life?
That I don't know.
Why he's number 25 on the Cardinals right now?
That's
Questions.
Questions. It's a good question. It's a valid point. As we come out to a 3rd and goal, it's going to be shotgun formation for Rosen. Johnson to his left, Hill to his right, 3 wide receivers to the right side. One over left side looking to pick this up as Hill goes in motion. Looks like they're setting up the little bubble screen, and that one almost picked off. And Bomber, I just don't like that play, and here's why. I like the little motion screens, things like that are nice, but when you only have one route like that, you put that guy in motion, they're immediately thinking you're throwing to that guy, and if there's no other option, they're lucky that's not going the other way because a smart cornerback's going to pick that ball off, and he's got 80 yards of open space.
Yeah, and you got to think, okay, so you got one option right there, okay, and you're thinking to yourself, if they do jump it and they do pick it up, who am I throwing it to? Josh Hill over David Johnson? I don't like that at all because David Johnson is a run after the catch guy. He's a halfback. That's what he does. Josh Hill, not so much.
Luck dropping back on 1st and 10, looks over the middle field, completes it, and they're inside the 50 down to the 48-yard line. Andrew Luck, 4 of 6, 34 yards. That one, his longest pass of the day. Little play action. The blitz picked up nicely by this Colts offensive line, Bomber. That ratings-wise doesn't look that impressive, but they've played very well so far this year.
Yeah, absolutely. And right there, I thought it was kind of a seam route, and it kind of broke, and it just kind of shallowed off into an in. I absolutely like the play calling there for the Indianapolis Colts.
As Luck rolls to the right side on 1st and 10, he's going to take a deep shot, has him, man, but that one almost into row 1. A little too late to complete that ball. Good defense by the Texans as a sack in the Arizona game, as that looks like that was Reddick getting in the backfield to bring him down for a 1-yard loss. So 3-3 in one game, 3-0. NBL Super Show action. Hope you're having a wonderful Friday and have some great weekend plans coming up. A full slate of football on Saturday and Sunday. Looking forward to that one as it's a shotgun formation for Andrew Luck. 4 wide receivers. On 2nd and 10, is going to hand it off to Mack, trying to find some room, and he does a great job of just running into Jadeveon Clowney, and Jadeveon Clowney goes, this is the easiest tackle I will ever have, losing 1, bringing up a 3rd and 11.
Eric G in the chat saying he changed David Johnson's number. He is 32 in real life. No, he's 31 in real life. Got him. A lot of guys in the chat. Fella, I really hate Mark, NBL Tout, Lil Fish, Rusta Busta, Unisolated. Appreciate everybody stopping by right now as we're watching some great play calling here from both teams.
Luck rolls back, waits, those are out of bounds. Okay, I saw that was as a pick for the Arizona Cardinals, and they're taking it back the other way. Flag down. He's got lots of room. I think this is coming back as we go full screen, as it looks like this is going to come back for a block in the back, and it will indeed, but a big turnover there. As we go back to dual screen action. Bomber, here's why I don't like that play, okay? It was a little orbit Z spot. You had the left side wide receiver run that spot route. You had a corner route on the left side and a post route over the middle. You know on 3rd and 11, they're probably coming out in zone defense. The post route gets taken away. The corner routes get taken away. Your only move is the spot route, and the spot route's 6 yards short of the line of scrimmage. It just was a dead play. Yeah,
absolutely. That was not a great play call there for that game. On the other side, I'm noticing something from the New Orleans Saints, a tendency, if you will, as a nice little pass there to J.J. Nelson. He gets down.
Double J's.
To the 29, and he's been great so far. Rosen, 3 for 4, 80 yards. What the Saints are doing, they're using curl routes to hold linebackers and having posts over top of them, and that's how they're trying to cross the field right now. It's not really working out, but that seems to be the strategy for Tyrod Taylor and these New Orleans Saints.
Deshaun Watson just took a big hit. Bowler goes down for the Houston Texans, but a big sack on first down, losing 7 on the play. It's going to be handoff to David Johnson for the Arizona Cardinals, trying to find some room inside the 29-yard line. They're already into the second quarter. Let's go full screen to that game as they're almost in the red zone. Saints and Cardinals tied at 3, 2nd and 11 now for the Arizona Cardinals, who, Bomber, you talked about how key it was for them to feed David Johnson. He's been fairly ineffective. Josh Rosen, on the other hand, has been very effective with his arm as they've got an I formation right now, 2 tight ends, 2 wide receivers, 1 to each side. Look for Curse on that post route on the left side. Dropping back is Josh Rosen. Blitz right up the middle. Rosen's he had the wheel route so open. He was more open than I am sitting here in my chair.
That
God, to throw that ball.
Of an Atlanta Falcons kind of wheel route against the Detroit Lions in playoff. Matt Ryan overshot it, but it was a really wide. It was one of those ones where defensively you're going, okay, I got to get there. I got to get there. They got there. And luckily for them, saved themselves. But I think Josh Rosen just missed that throw.
3rd and 19, handoff to David Johnson up the middle. Oh, little juke, little step.
Oh, it's an over
what are we doing over here? It looks like
he was
Fred
skiing
Astaire.
out there. He was skiing out there, OSU. I mean, he was hitting the slopes, left, right, picking up pace. At least he got in field goal range.
As the kick is up, it is good. Arizona gets a 6-3 lead as we look at a 3rd and 22 for the Texans. Little wide receiver screen, and Will Fuller hurt on the play. He's hopped up, though, and is running off the field, so you got to think it's probably not that serious. As a nice Bomber, I actually love that play call on 3rd and 22. You have a chance to break it and pick up the first down, but you're probably not going to commit some sort of turnover. The only downside is the injury to Fuller.
Yeah, absolutely right there. You just played a little bit safe. Will Fuller has been, not used that much this season for them. Only 8 catches, 89 yards. In the first 3 games of the season, we're week 4 right now, NBL season 34. This is broadcast number 244. It's turning into a legitimate Social Security number right now.
Yeah, fact.
And who is that returner right there? I mean, it looks like Ryan Fitzpatrick returning for the Indianapolis Colts. Did you see that
Magic can do whatever. Don't question him. Don't question him. He's quick on his feet. 1st and 10, handoff to Alvin Kamara over the left side. Oh, a little sidestep juke move. He picks up 6. Boy, I think there are a lot of teams out there struggling with the run game, looking at Alvin Kamara and going, boy, if I only had that guy. If we had only taken a flyer on Mr. Kamara, we'd have a great running game. He is so quick on his feet.
Yeah, he's just a do-it-all halfback, and he can just change direction. He just basically is a jack of all trades, master of some. I know they usually say master of none, but he is really good at some things, and he's great at he's good at everything. Great at some things. Hey, to the outside, that's just too easy.
5 carries, 30 yards, 6 yards per carry so far in this game for Kamara, and he is just keeping this Arizona defense on their toes. They're dropping back in a lot of these, trying to catch the passing game that has struggled to keep the ball in their offense's hands. Well, when you hand the ball to Alvin Kamara, it's pretty tough to turn the ball over as they're in the shotgun. They're on the 42-yard line. Wonder if Kamara's going to get a 3rd straight carry. The Indianapolis Colts, on the other hand, they're facing a 2nd and 5. They're going to hand off to Mack. He's got some room on the right side, up past the 35, inside the 30. He's going to be taken down. Excuse me, that was Derrick Henry taking the carry. And Bomber, that's the fastest I've ever seen Derrick Henry run when it didn't involve an ice cream truck.
Yeah, I was saying, who is that big guy right there, number 34? That's Derrick Henry taking over the old Trent Richardson number for the Indianapolis Colts.
A noble number.
But he picks it up. I like that. And what about the throw on the right side? We saw the New Orleans Saints right there make a pass. If you switch on and hit the SWAT button, you can make a play there. But there's Derrick Henry again.
Look at him go.
The beast.
I mean, if you don't want to be like Trent Richardson, that's probably fair. But Derrick Henry being much more effective with that number 34 jersey as they were running Mack earlier. Henry getting a couple carries here, and he's showing to be pretty speedy around the edge. No more as a power guy. Both these teams inside the 50, so we'll keep you with dual screen action. Let's look over at the Indianapolis Colts. Shotgun formation for Andrew Luck. Empty backfield. 4 wide receivers, 1 tight end. He'll drop back to pass on 1st and 10. Waiting, looking, back in, touchdown! Colts, a nice throw over the linebacker. Man, oh man, and who else but the man who couldn't catch anything but a Colt in Detroit? It's Eric Ebron coming down with a touchdown for the Colts as they extend their lead to 9-0, pending this extra point as it is up, it is good, it's double digits for Double A and the Indianapolis Colts.
And it was a touchdown for Double E. Eric Ebron, that was a very questionable throw. He just high-passed it, and Eric Ebron just uses athleticism, his speed, his agility, his jumping, made a play, and right there, the Houston Texans, the team that struggles to score, finds himself down 2 scores with 4:42 left in the second.
Let's go full screen to the Saints game as big sack there. Hassan Reddick getting in the backfield once again and bringing down Tyrod Taylor. They're going to face a 2nd and 18 Bomber, when you're looking at this 2nd and 18, you've got 2 downs essentially to pick up a first down. Are you just looking here from the 30-yard line to pick up, somewhere around 8 to 10 yards, or are you looking for something bigger?
Right now, maybe a screen right now. I mean, right now, you look at the score of the game. It's 6-3. Let's not get crazy here. Tyrod Taylor already has an interception. Let's not get too aggressive.
How about we throw it right down the middle and
Bowman drops that. Navarro Bowman, the captain.
Stonehands Bowman over here.
Whoa, Bowman he's not really known for, getting deep into coverage, but that was a heck of a play on the cover, too, right there.
I'm just saying, Eric Ebron could have made that play.
Yeah, definitely could have. Absolutely could have.
Now on 3rd and 18, it's damage control, but instead they're going to have 5 wide receivers, 3 to the right side, 2 to the left side. For Tyrod Taylor in the shotgun, showing pressure off the left side from the Arizona Cardinals. He's going to drop back to pass on 3rd and 18, dropping. Throws over to the right side, has a man on the sidelines. Oh, he toe tap, brings it in at the 7-yard line. It's a first down. Bomber. I didn't like them going for all of it on a 3rd and long. I said, pick up your field goal, and Tyrod Taylor says, hey, who's the man making 20 mil?
Yeah, questioning right now, were the Arizona Cardinals trying to play some type of over-the-top coverage rather than just protect the sticks?
Absolutely.
It really didn't make sense.
Absolutely. Well, now they've got a 1st and goal, and this has got to be Alvin Kamara time. Nope, why not? Tyrod throw it once again on 1st and goal, and he finds a man underneath, complete down to the 3-yard line. Going to bring up a 2nd and goal, and Bombers redemption time for Alvin Kamara. He's got to find the end zone with the skills that he has.
Yeah, absolutely. You look at this team right here, and Tyrod Taylor has been in this situation multiple times this game. He's only came away with 3-1, so should have got picked off, though, for Navarro Bowman. Let's see if we can get it right now.
Hand off to Kamara right up the middle, fight through the tackle, close to the goal line, but he'll be down at the 1 as I'm watching on the other screen. You might be wondering what you're missing in that Colts and Texans game. It is, it's not safe for work because I just watched Deshaun Watson get pummeled on 3 straight downs. So the Colts firmly in control as they've hit the 2-minute warning. In New Orleans, the Saints looking to punch this one in. They're less than a 1-yard out, Bomber. They have got to find 6 on this play.
Yeah, absolutely. You don't want to come away with 3 again, and
Toss
this
play?
is a nice turning point here. Let's see if Kamara can get in.
I formation, 2 tight ends, 1 wide receiver. Taylor under center. He's going to hand it to Kamara right up the middle. Kamara's going to run into some traffic. He's going to get taken down.
Oh, what a great tackle there. Was that Riddick? No, that was number 44, Golden.
Who's frozen. Look at him posing. He's posing.
Wow, that was nice. That was a nice tackle right there. Stop him in his tracks.
3rd and 1. You know they're probably committing to something up the middle. Why not get Kamara on the edge? He's so quick. You've got to run him outside inside the goal line.
Yeah, maybe a toss right there. But coming out in I formation, you just stick every offensive player essentially in that little box right there. And you just kind of, if it's not a toss, you're kind of playing into the defense's hand right there. It's a 6-6 game. The Arizona Cardinals doing a great job hanging in this one.
10-0 the score on the other side as we go back to dual screen action again. NBL Super Show. You get 2 games at once, folks. We hope you're enjoying it. I'm OSU. I'm hanging out with my man, Bomber, the commish of the NBL. Bomber, I think we've got some sort of giveaway going on for some NBL merch. Why don't you tell the folks about that?
All right, all you got to do is go to @BomberLeague on Twitter and just go ahead and check us out. Check us out on Twitter. It's a pinned tweet on there. All you have to do is reply with your shirt size that you want and the color that you want or the hat that you want. And we'll be doing a drawing tomorrow, 10 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, Saturday.
Great way to get your hands on some of that new witness.
That pass on the left side.
Oh, Ebron's down, and he's holding his back.
That was a nice catch.
It's a beautiful throw. But it's a great way to get your hands on some free Witness Greatness merchandise. New line here for the NBL. So again, it's free. All you got to do is go to Twitter @BomberLeague. The tweet is pinned there.
And the cool thing is, after that giveaway's done, we're going to do another giveaway starting Saturday night. We're going to announce on Monday, and then another one Monday announced on Wednesday. That one's going to be courtesy as we got a face mask on the right side for the New Orleans Saints, Marshawn Lattimore. And it's going to be courtesy. This one's courtesy of Surf, and the next 2 are going to be courtesy of Captain Planet. So shout out to them.
And shout out to our official clothing sponsor, CFN Clothing. Came from Nothing Clothing. Big shout out to those guys. Did a ton of work for the NBL EA Access Tournament. Those shirts were absolutely awesome, and they're doing some great work here with the Witness Greatness line. As the Indianapolis Colts facing a 2nd and 5 from the 40-yard line. They're nearing the 2-minute warning. The Cardinals and the Saints under the 2-minute warning. As it looks like Doyle goes down, as Ebron should be fine, but as Ebron comes back, Doyle goes down, and Rosen, he just runs out of bounds and loses 2 on the play. So really, overall, Bomber, we got 2 screens going on, maybe double the action. It was 2 pretty bad plays right there.
Yeah, back-to-back bad plays, but hey, I'd rather see 2 bad plays than just 1 bad play. maybe we can dissect them both, but why didn't Rosen just throw the ball away? I understand it's just a yard, but just throw it away.
Come on, those yards are in Arizona. Those yards are premium. You can't be just giving those away. 3rd and 2 for the Indianapolis Colts. I formation, 2 tight ends, 1 wide receiver. As Fant coming in motion from the right side over to the left side. Andrew Luck under center on 3rd down. He's going to hand the ball off right up the middle, and they're going to pick up 3 and get the first down as they hit the 2-minute warning. As Jack Doyle, broken finger. That's a big loss for them, but Bomber, I have been impressed as he had Rosen. A man all sorts of open, and Rosen, a little too much mustard, a little too much ketchup, a little too much relish on that ball. But how impressive has Derrick Henry been for the Indianapolis Colts today?
He's been phenomenal, but let me put a pin in that. So cover 4 Palms covers crossing routes. He ran drive you corner, which is nearly every route going to the right side, with the post route coming across the field, which leaves that guy wide open because all the zones followed across the field.
A little PAFK quick. I am not sure, but I'm fairly positive if you look at the Indianapolis Colts as Costanzo goes down, Colts are stealing with everything. The second tight end had to have been a lineman, had to have been like a guard, because he first of all he was number 70 something, and second of all he looked like Gianni Slade running that seam route, and it was not pretty.
Shout out to Gianni Slade, the 335-pound nose tackle from Madden 18, Detroit Lions. Always hurt.
Don't miss that guy. Don't miss him. As both teams looking to get some points on the board, handoff on 1st down, and David Johnson gets stood up. And the other play, Marlon Mack gets stood up. So trouble's running the ball for both sides. But I'm surprised Mack was in there, Bomber, with how Derrick Henry has dominated this Houston defense.
They're just trying to limit the carries, I heard, coming into this season with Derrick Henry. Just trying to take some time and pretty much, nice pass there.
Nice throw by Rosen. There you go. You gotta get the boy 10.
He's got nice throw power. He's got great accuracies. We'll talk about his accuracies at halftime attribute-wise, but, man, he's looked good. But, yeah, they're just trying to limit the carries for Derrick Henry. He has a history of being injured, and right now he's about to surpass his yards total from last season that he had on the Tennessee Titans in 3 games.
Costanzo goes down with a strained tricep. He will not return in this game. I like that little spot route there. They pick up 7, get him back into a more comfortable field goal range to extend this to a 13-0 lead. The Colts kick is up. It is good. Rosen with a throw to the right side. Oh, Bomber. Rosen is just dinking and dotting his way down this field. Let's go full screen to that game and watch what we have seen from Josh Rosen, Bomber, in his 2nd year, and he looks more comfortable than I've ever seen him in the pocket.
Yeah, last season he had a 73 QBR, 8 touchdowns, 23 picks. This year, 71. Kind of off to a rough start. His completion percentage is down, but this is kind of a breakout game. This is the guy that's got 90 short, 87 medium, and 77 deep with a nice throw power of 93.
2nd and inches, shotgun formation. Josh Rosen in that shotgun with a 4 wide set. David Johnson to his left. He drops back to pass on 2nd and inches. Quick 3-step drop. Waiting, looking, slant route left side, and it's a drop, Bomber. I know it's tight coverage out there, but that's a catch your receiver's got to make.
Yeah, you got to look at that and tell Josh Rosen, hey, you threw a catchable ball. You got to come down with that. You got to expect your receiver to kind of come through with those kind of catches. That's Christian Kirk, number 13. He's got 84 short route running, 91 speed, 92 excel, 91 agility.
3rd inches, shotgun formation, 3 wide receivers, 2 to the right side, 1 to the left side. Josh Hill, the tight end, on the right side of that formation. Dropping back to passes, Rosen. Blitz coming, throws over to the left side, has a step, and he puts it in the bucket. Touchdown, Rosen. Oh my, the touch on that one with a little kiss from a Rosen.
And that is Jermaine Kearse for his first touchdown as an Arizona Cardinal. Last year played for the New York Jets, had no touchdowns, 23 catches, 355 yards. They like his ability, 82 overall, 90 speed, 93 excel, and makes a nice catch, great release, touchdown Arizona.
And the Houston Texans, they're looking to put some points on the board here, as they're just on the other side of midfield. Saints have all 3 timeouts and about 30 seconds they'll have after this return is taken back inside the 28-yard line. So we'll keep you dual screen here as we watch both of these games. Heading to halftime, Bomber, the action has been pretty good from both these games as the Houston Texans come out. Deshaun Watson, empty backfield. 4 wide receivers, 2 to each side, 1 tight end, Seals Jones on the right side of that formation. They're just on the other side of the 50 to 46-yard line as he drops back to pass 4-man rush from the Indianapolis Colts. Quick throw underneath. It is complete, and Bomber, that may be the biggest problem for this Houston Texans team. Watson, 6 of 8 for this game, but only 49 yards because they have no confidence throwing the ball past about 5 yards downfield.
Yeah, absolutely. If they just play underneath and maybe user and take away that read right there. Right now, Deshaun Watson just not looking comfortable in the pocket and not looking to take shots. Meanwhile, Josh Rosen is doing the complete opposite. He's looking to drive the ball down the field.
Watson takes a big hit on the left side. He was looking for something downfield. He's going to bring up a 3rd and 5, 13 seconds left. Houston, 2 timeouts, but boy, Bomber, I mean, what does it do for an offense? Like, I mean, Watson has the skills to push it downfield. He actually has some great wide receivers. This may be a little indication of why DeAndre Hopkins doesn't have any more than 150 yards so far this year. They can't push it.
Hesitancy and the inability to throw to a guarded receiver. DeAndre Hopkins might be guarded, but he's open at the same time. And he got hit him. But that was, that's a dot. Pick it up. They're going to be in field goal range.
They're hopefully going to get on the board here as they take a timeout with 7 seconds left. So I don't know if they're going to try to run one more play or not. The Saints, 3rd and 14, quick throw underneath it is complete. Little spin move down to the 5, 4, 3, and they're going to go into halftime 13-6 in that ball game. Arizona on top as we'll just go full screen for this field goal attempt. Right hash mark, 23-yard line. This is a 40-yard attempt. Indianapolis very wary of any sort of trickery from the Houston Texans. The kick is up, though, and it is good. Houston's on the board, 13-3, but Bomber, I think the Houston Texans are lucky it's only a 10-point game in this one because the Indianapolis Colts have dominated from front to back.
Absolutely, they've dominated, and Houston has not done a great job offensively. I mean, we saw an opportunity to get 3 on the board, and there goes Ted Ginn Jr.
Oh, he's going.
He's to the house, 50,
as let's go full
40.
screen and watch Ginn do this one. He's 20, 15, 10, 5, somersault touchdown, Saints, and the special teams coming into play as Ted Ginn Jr., old TGR, showing off the wheels on the kickoff.
All right, pro tip out there for the guys struggling on special teams. If you pick kick return left and you kick middle, and he does kick return middle, that's what happens. You need to be wary of where you're picking to kick the ball and make sure that you kick it in that direction. Pro tip.
But, Bomber, it's a nice addition to the game because it used to be you could kick it wherever you want.
And everyone's doing that. They just smash A until they get to the kicking screen and not realizing what they've chose. And then they're in a situation where all the blocking just lands a big-time hit there for the New Orleans Saints with the hit sticky. Houston got the ball here, though. Just imagine if Houston would have ran the ball in that 3rd and long early in the game where they're at the 43, and maybe they picked up 4 or 5. They get into a nice field goal. They get it. It would be 13-6 right now. They'd have an opportunity to tie this game up right now as they start the 3rd quarter, 6 minutes. Quarters here in the NBL.
1st and 10 for the Houston Texans. Play action pass for Deshaun Watson. That's batted down to the line. Nice job, defensive line. As that looked like it was Jabal Sheard, the former Cleveland Brown and New England Patriot, jumping up and batting that pass to the flat down. As David Johnson with a nice carry for the Arizona Cardinals as we got dual screen action here. NBL Super Show broadcast number 244. I'm OSU. I'm hanging out with my man Bomber. Hope you're having a wonderful Friday and you're looking forward to a great weekend. 2nd and 10 for the Texans. 1st and 10 as Rosen throws it underneath and completes. Oh, a little spin move. He's got room. Oh, there's a flag down, though. That's just a killer. As Watson takes a shot up the middle looking for Seals Jones. That's the only throw we've seen Watson make, Bomber, anywhere past a drag route. It's been those tight end seams, and the Colts are recognizing that as Farley makes a big play on Seals Jones to set up a 3rd and 10.
Yeah, it just doesn't seem very comfortable offense here for Deshaun Watson. They're not using him correctly, and DeAndre Hopkins is suffering because of it. So if you got DeAndre Hopkins on your fantasy team in the NBL, you're struggling right now. You're wondering what's going on. Get my man the ball and just throw it to him if he's guarded. Give him a chance.
Love that in the Cardinals game. We have a 1st and inches, which is just a fantastic thing to see. 3rd and 10 as the Texans looking to pick something up, looks up the seam, and that one's picked off and going the other way. Oh, what a pick in tight coverage. Trying to make the throw, Malik Hooker. He's just too good. You can't throw that ball. As Rosen dumps his off underneath, and David Johnson just doesn't catch it. As a big turnover, Bomber, it's not looking good for the Houston Texans.
Yeah, it's really not. Just a team in disarray right now. Their biggest win of the season might be that week 1 victory over Jacksonville where they won 9-0 with 3 field goals, but that was more indicative of the inability for the Jaguars to score. I still think Houston's offense has just been such a frustrating thing to watch right now. Very disappointing. If the defense does not bring them to wins, they have really no chance, kind of like the Houston Texans in real life.
On the other game, 13-13 New Orleans, a huge play, that kickoff return by Ted Ginn Jr. to start the second half, tie this ball game up. Arizona, so much confidence going into halftime, but that sort of play is deflating as Josh Rosen and the Cardinals, they've got a 1st and 10, 3 tight ends to the right side, 1 wide receiver out to the left side, and on 1st down, it's a play-action pass for Rosen, and he looks to one of those tight ends, a nice little touch pass out to the left side. Oh, what a throw. As Davenport goes down for the Saints, but Bomber Josh Rosen, so impressive today.
Yeah, it's a nice throw by Serb. I mean, just tapping it a little bit and allowing Josh Rosen's ability to just kind of lead the receiver, the tight end. And I don't really like the play call either. I don't like the trips tight end pass the ball unless you have some really athletic tight ends and some depth at that position, which they don't. They kind of overthought it there, but a nice throw there for Josh Rosen.
1st and 10 for Rosen as he drops back to pass once again. He's taking a deep shot. That was a bad throw that got bailed out, Bomber.
Wow,
Two guys.
Look at
Bracket
the animation. It gets tipped and he catches it with one hand. Oh, that's kind of nice. That's unfortunate for the New Orleans Saints, but they just got a special teams touchdown. So how unfortunate are they?
Luck puts the ball on the ground, and the Texans just don't recover it. 3 guys touch that ball, and no one picks it up.
And that's what I said. Didn't I just say that the Texans defense has to put points on the board? And there was the opportunity right there.
Toss play for David Johnson. We go full screen to the Cardinals, and the Saints. Cardinals looking to punch this one in. And Johnson, once again, had an opportunity. The blocking was there as Davenport with the abdominal tear will not return. Field goal is up and good for the Colts, by the way, 16-3 in that ball game. Boy, Cardinals just need David Johnson to get going. It just seems like, Bomber, the vision is off for their all-star running back.
Well, yeah, it just seems like he's just a little too quick out the gate. Needs to kind of survey after he gets the ball and just kind of keep his head on a swivel, look left and right, use his peripheral vision rather than just taking off quickly. Here's my thing with the Texans, though. Let's talk about them a little bit. If you own DeAndre Hopkins in fantasy NBL, you're just saying, can we just streak him just a couple times? Just give him a chance. Just
trade him. I'm just saying.
You're trading him in fantasy, huh?
Rosen rolls out to the right. He's going to take down. And boy, he had David Johnson sitting there open on the sidelines off that flat. I would have dumped that off to him.
You know what it reminds me of? It reminds me of basketball, like a fast break, and you're ahead of somebody, and they just dribbled, and then they get next to you, and then they like decide if they want to pass to you or not. And you're like, dude, just shoot the layup. You've already done ran to where I'm at. Here. Yeah. Why didn't you pass it earlier, Rosen? Make this easier. Could have picked up a few.
3rd and goal. 3 wide receivers for the Cardinals. Dropping back to pass. Quick 3-step drop. Waiting, looking.
Oh,
and
dangerous.
Hits one of the Saints players, I think, in the hands. Boy, the red zone struggles for this Cardinals team. You have a guy like David Johnson. But if it were me, and again, if it were me with a guy like David Johnson, I'm handing it to him 3 times inside the red zone every time as a deep shot on the left side almost gets picked off for the Houston Texans. Watson, 7-14, 66 yards. I mean, I don't mean to put it too simplistically. It's really easy up here calling the game to see what you can do. But when you have a guy like David Johnson, don't you think just hand him the ball 3 times and get him in the end zone?
Yeah, and be okay if he doesn't get in the end zone, OSU. Shake the defense's hand and say, well, I'll take the field goal.
Yeah.
Let's not force the ball and potentially create a turnover situation. Right there, that's what the Cardinals did. But, hey, the Cardinals got into that situation by forcing the ball that could have been turned over. So let's be honest here with what's going on.
Watson, nice throw over the middle. Has him, man. That seals Jones inside the 50 down to the 40-yard line.
Did you see the switch? So the user switched to 33, which was the guy that he didn't think he was switching to, and he ran straight out of bounds. Did you guys see that? Awkward. I don't know if they saw it in the game. It was the blue on the left side. He was actually closest to the ball, but the user thought it was the other guy. So when he switched, he was coming left, which took that guy completely out of the play. That could have burned them for some more yards.
I think as Bananas would say, that was some usering that was cheeks, I think is what the cool kids are saying. Or at least Bananas. Handoff up the middle, not a whole lot there for Lamar Miller. Hey, Bomber, talk a little bit about what's coming up on Building the Franchise Indianapolis Colts this week.
Building the Franchise Indianapolis Colts, and I almost say Detroit Lions every time, and then I almost correct myself to say Dallas Cowboys, but now we're on to the Indianapolis Colts. We do a new team every year. It's going to be episode number 3. They're taking on the Bucs, 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time this Sunday, youtube.com/Madden Bomber League. We're going to talk. They're going to put out the Colts quarterly. We're going to read it. We're going to talk their Twitter. We're going to look at Bleacher Report, see if they talked about the Colts. They just made a big trade. They sent one of their safeties, and they received a second-round pick, which I think was a pretty good deal. And the Colts, once again, making some moves, and let's see if this team can kind of become that dark horse candidate to make a run in the playoffs. That's where I see this team right now. I don't think they're going to win the division, but I do think they have an opportunity to win some games in the playoffs.
As we go back to dual screen action again Sunday, 8 o'clock Eastern Time. Building the Franchise. Indianapolis Colts. It's another throw to the tight end. Bomber.
Nice
he
throw.
Has no sorts of chemistry with DeAndre Hopkins. No sort of chemistry with Will Fuller. But with this tight end Seals Jones, it seems like he is comfortable pitching and catching to him.
You know, he kind of reminds me of Dak Prescott a little bit in real life, and we're watching it here in NBL. Madden 19, season 34, Deshaun Watson just does not like to throw to his receivers. He just wants to throw to his safety blankets, and that's what he's the most comfortable with. He doesn't trust those cornerbacks.
We go full screen to the Colts and the Texans. Texans needing a touchdown here to stay in this ballgame. Shotgun formation for Deshaun Watson. As he drops back to pass. Nope, he's going to hand it off to Lamar Miller. And one of those awful, horrible cuts. Get your hands off the triggers when you hand the ball off, guys, because that's what it looks like. Lamar Miller just stopped in his tracks.
I'm going to ask you this question right now, OSU. Is this a must touchdown score for the Houston Texans? So, yes, already.
It's not even close.
Question.
It's not even close. The field goal does you no good because I have no faith you can score 10 more points. You've got to find the end zone here just for confidence. There's only a minute 51 left here in the third quarter as Watson drops back to pass on second and goal, 4-man rush from the Colts. He's got lots of time. He's going to back into that sack.
Yeah, you got to just have a little bit more peripheral. Carlos Dunlap had a great season with the Cincinnati Bengals, did not come to terms with them, signed with the Indianapolis Colts. He's been a front runner on this defensive line. I've liked what he's brought to this team. Excited for him to be here as we follow him in his journey on building the franchise Indianapolis Colts on our YouTube NBL Network channel.
Shotgun formation for Watson, 3 wide receivers to the left side, 1 over the right side, Lamar Miller.
Oh, we got David Johnson making a big play on the Cardinals. Oh, no.
As rolling to the left, looking over the middle, doesn't complete his pass. You get to see David Johnson dive into the end zone.
Yeah, we just missed a big play here. I'll break it down for you. I'll radio style this. He went to the outside. He was juking, Hadouken, spinning and winning, and went about 75 yards, touchdown. And the Arizona Cardinals are really adding insult to injury from the TMM, New Orleans Saints. And you know what TMM means, right? I told you earlier.
Too much movement.
Too much movement. It was too much offseason movement. It's when you try to turn something that's a C grade and pay it like an A grade and hope it performs like a B grade. I don't see the rationale in that. Right now, this is a team that signed Anthony Barr, and what have they done defensively? What have you seen?
Yeah, well, but on the flip side, the people at home got to watch the inept Houston Texans offense move backwards in the inside the 10-yard line, so that was pretty cool. Could have seen a big play. Instead, you got to see that.
They're always setting up for
You're welcome.
Goals. Their kicker likes to kick a little further back than the 20, so they're always thinking about the kicker as they get inside the red zone because they know scoring most likely not going to happen here.
As we look at both these games, the Cardinals have extended their lead 23-13. The Saints' struggles continue as Tyrod Taylor looking over the left side. That's tight covered. That's a throw that's just too hard to make. 5'11", 89 yards, and a pick for Tyrod Taylor. And what a throw by Andrew Luck on the run to the sideline. Little toe tap. Grant with the catch. The Colts are driving. Bomber, the Texans are in trouble.
Hey, I thought the Tyrod Taylor throw to the right side of the field won the kind of NBL broadcast number 244 toe tapping of the day. But no, right there. Oh, Andrew Luck just went against the grain. He Brett Favre'd it down the field. Arm strength.
Brett Favre.
Accuracy.
Well, Brett
As always, he
Favre.
does his John Madden impression.
Brett Favre.
Just a phenomenal throw right there for Andrew Luck. And that's why he's the starter on this team.
Then they hand it off to Mack, who gets nothing. Boy, you got to bring Derrick Henry in. 3rd and 9 for the New Orleans Saints. They've got 3 wide receivers, 1 tight end. Shotgun formation for the $20 million man, Tyrod Taylor, Alvin Kamara. To his right, little movement. He's going to get a free play here. You got to take a shot. You just got to throw it up. You're going to fumble the ball.
They get it back. They're going to get
$20 million doesn't get you much anymore, folks. Just put your wallet away. Don't sign that checkbook.
It seemed like there was better quarterbacks out there too. I mean, this was a free agency that had a veteran quarterback that almost signed with the Green Bay Packers. Who was the quarterback? Slipping the name here.
Oh, he's got one-on-one with the tight end. Yep,
yeah.
That's where he was going over the top, one hand, nice defense.
You got to swat. Nice, you got to switch on and swat that. Though.
Great play.
I mean, that's you're just risking too much by just allowing the computer to try to make a play there.
Tyrod Taylor trying to make another play on 3rd and 4.
Oh, Michael Thomas. Okay. He needs the ball a little bit. 6 for 12, 100 yards and a pick. That's not good.
$20 million good?
It's $20 million good. But $40 million, I don't know. Maybe not.
I took a lot of flack for signing Teddy Bridgewater to $10 million. I don't feel bad after watching Tyrod Taylor. 3rd and 10.
I think Teddy's actually a better quarterback than Tyrod, too, and he's younger.
Lux looks over the middle. That was another great defense. Not so great reads there from Andrew Luck and Bomber. That's might be the big knock on this Colts team is it. There are times this team looks like a top 5 team, but then their aggressiveness gets the better of them, and all of a sudden they look like a bottom 5 team because those were 3 bad reads.
Absolutely, and we've seen a lot of cross routes as they got their lead. They're going for that big knockout punch. This is going to be a horrible punt. No, maybe not. Maybe a great punt. What do I know about punting? That was a pretty good punt. Yeah.
As they're into just shy of the 4th quarter, the Saints trying to get everything back on one throw there. Cannot complete it. Boy, Bomber, this Saints team, new owner Gov came in last season, had a nice run with the Saints, but no more Drew Brees. They bring in Tyrod Taylor. Is this team destined for a top 10 pick?
I don't know about top 10. I think they will get it together at some point this season, but this team is not looking like a playoff team. Definitely can say that. The concepts that they're running, their offense that they're running is very basic. And when they ask Tyrod Taylor to make that kind of throw, it's not a good, accurate throw. And that's what's hurting this team, as Drew Brees was able to air it out, and they could get down the field with those crossing routes, with those routes in which they hold a defender underneath, and they get over the top. Tyrod Taylor struggles to make those throws and make those reads.
We go full screen. 3rd and 2, Tyrod Taylor, a little throw underneath. I'm surprised that the Cardinals came with that aggressive defense, especially with how much success they've had, Bomber, dropping back into these zones. It doesn't seem like Tyrod Taylor can read these zones, but they came with an aggressive man blitz, and the New Orleans Saints were just able to put a guy on a drag route and make an easy read for Taylor.
Yeah, I think the Cardinals are playing bend, don't break. They're up 2 scores right now, and they're just trying to get some pressure on you, give you the underneath, and maybe trying to take away the big-time play, but right now they're in a cover 2, so this might burn them. Yep, there's a throw over the top.
Throw.
Touchdown.
That's a money pass. That's the pass they've been looking for. Not a difficult pass, but you got to put it on the money, and that is an awful touchdown dance, but a big play for the Saints as they find a way to find the end zone with their passing game. Tyrod Taylor.
That was a touchdown pass. Hey, but listen.
I'll be honest, all I heard was that's all I heard.
You see 2 high safeties, and you think,
what a
he baited him.
Oh, he baited them so hard.
Lob it. You just got to lob it over the top. I think that wasn't even nobody over the top as well.
There was nobody over the top.
It was almost a 0. Oh, it was a hard flat.
It was a hard flat.
I don't know where the safety was.
The safety dropped down on that dig. He dropped down real far on the dig.
Yeah, that was a walk-in touchdown, and right there, the user just makes a great play. You're looking at these teams right here, the Arizona Cardinals, as the Saints just get into the end zone. That cover 2 was bad. I mean, you're seeing a team playing a basic offensive game plan, and you're going to come out and show 2 high safeties and it'd be a cover 2. They're going to split you every time.
As the Colts look primed to put this one away, it's Derrick Henry with a little sidestep. Man, he has looked so good, but he goes down with some sort of injury. But he's getting up. He's going to run off. Although his hand looks broken. Looks like he's still holding the ball. It was sort of clawed. I think he just had a little muscle cramp in the right hand. But it looks like the Colts are going to put this bad boy away. And
talk about a good signing. We talked about a lot of bad signings. Derrick Henry, he got paid this year. Right now, he's making $9.33 million, which is over $1 million more than David Johnson. Man, he's looked good as down goes Andrew Luck.
A nice throw over to the left side by Josh Rosen, who is having a fantastic game. 3rd and inches, and a big moment here for the New Orleans Saints. Looking to get a stop. They're only down a field goal. It seems like the Cardinals have played better than the Saints for the grand majority of this game, but a big special teams return and that last drive has kept the New Orleans Saints in this game. They're only down a field goal. As on 3rd and inches, who else but David Johnson, and a huge defensive play. Did they stop him? They did. They actually made him lose a yard, and the Saints can get the ball back with the opportunity to tie or take the lead. They have contained, Bomber, one of the best running backs in the league, in David Johnson.
Well, outside of the big run that put the points on the board that we missed when we were full screen watching the red zone.
We didn't see it, so it doesn't count.
So that's why OSU says he's been contained. I mean, outside of that one play, yes, it's been 1 yard, 2 yard, 3 yard,
mostly
1 yard.
In short yardage situations. They were inside the goal line. They stopped him. There was a 3rd and inches. They stopped him. They were able to contain him on those plays that David Johnson should be picking up easily.
Those are the money downs right there. So he had Ebron open on the left side there for.
Still had A, and then he threw it to the. Hey, man, it's not pretty, but that
could have been picked.
That should have been picked.
Well, they've been dominant. I predicted a much higher scoring game. Houston's defense has shown a pulse here in the second half at least, and kind of curtailed that explosive offense we saw early on for the Indianapolis Colts.
But why don't we go full screen to this Cardinals Saints game as the Saints driving. We're under 4 minutes to go. 23-20 the score. We'll keep it with this one. We'll keep you apprised on the Colts Texans game, but that one looks pretty much in hand for the Indianapolis Colts. The Saints only need a field goal, using a lot of time here. 3:34 and counting to go for the New Orleans Saints, and they're going to need Tyrod Taylor, the $20 million man, to lead them down the field. It's funny how every year, thank you for that camera change. It's funny, Bomber, how every year in the NBL, we have one quarterback we talk about their contract with as a nice slant thrown by Taylor. They'll pick up the first down. I believe it was Russell Wilson last year or the year before that he hit a huge contract, and now it's Tyrod Taylor.
Yeah, it seems like these quarterbacks just find that opportune time where an older quarterback retires and they come in and then they get their money. That doesn't necessarily mean they perform very well, but they do get their money. As another offsides here for the Arizona Cardinals. You started questioning, okay, does he have aggressive on? I mean,
Absolutely.
we've been watching. Is it on? It's been on this whole game?
Well, yeah, again, a lot of people like to think the only way your guy jumps off sides is if you have aggressive on. The other way is if you're hitting, as certain plays on the defensive line, if you're hitting the triggers to try to jump the snap and it's a fake snap, your guy will jump. So it could be just aggressiveness being on the defensive line as Tyrod Taylor's going to scramble. He's going to pick up the first down inside the 45, almost to midfield to the 48-yard line. As the Texans, they've got a little drive going here. They're down to the 38, but the Colts seem to be backing off pretty hard as I don't think they have any faith the Houston Texans can find 13 points in their couch cushions, let alone find a way to score in this game. We'll keep it here on the New Orleans Saints as Tyrod Taylor's under center, 3 wide receivers on 1st and 10. Play action pass. He's dropping back to throw. Blitz right up the middle and down to Taylor.
Tim Dichie, there you go, making plays number 90. He wears 90 because his favorite player growing up was Ndamukong Suh. Also a division rival right now.
The king of the stomp.
The stomp. The face stomped, yeah. He should have stomped Tyrod right there.
2nd and 20. Do his best. What was the guy's name? The linebacker for the Denver Broncos in the 90s. Bill Romanowski.
Oh yeah, that guy was just a terror.
Just a nut job. As Tyrod Taylor picking up more with his feet, but not finding it with his with the throwing. And Bomber, that little crossing route should come open against cover 3.
It's all crossing routes for the New Orleans Saints. That's what they're looking for. Crossing routes, or they're going to streak somebody and try to split the safeties. That's basically what you're getting. Is once again, you're going to get the crossing route again.
Nice throw to the right side. Why did you spin? Oh, if you just stay outside, you have the first down, and Michael Thomas goes down. There was no need to spin there. All you have to do is stay outside, and the animation is going to get you the first down nonetheless. Instead, he spins inside, takes a hit, sets up a 4th and 1, and you lose Michael Thomas.
I don't know
Disastrous.
Are we dual screen right now? We just missed a big-time 4th and long pickup for the Houston Texans. They're threatening to score. They probably won't, but they're threatening.
We're going to keep it here. 4th and 1. Empty backfield for Tyrod Taylor. 4-man rush. Tyrod Taylor dropping back. Rolling to the right side. There's a man there. He's going to throw across his body, but he has a man, and it's caught at the 26 Bomber. Tell me on a scale of 1 to 10, 10 being the perfect play by Peyton Manning, 1 being me throwing in my backyard, how textbook was that throw?
That reminds me of Brett Favre, what was it, Minnesota Vikings, where he rolled right in the playoffs and he just left it in the air, threw it across the field. Those are usually picked off. That's just a unfortunate. Oh, there goes the cover 2 again. Watch the seam for 81. Oh, they're in bad defense right here. Oh, but maybe it's the 4 verticals fake. It might be the fake screen, though. If it is, they might be in trouble.
Pump fake, and he throws the slant. Was that the verts?
Yeah, that was the fake screen verts, yeah.
We'll go back dual screen for a moment.
Texans at the 6-yard line, 2 minutes left. They're down 13. They need 2 scores. They got 3 timeouts. Technically still in it, but they're inside the 6 right now, which makes it even tougher for a team that really struggles to run the ball. And the passing game in tight quarters has not been ideal so far in NBL Season 34. If you want to join the NBL, go to 365.maddenbomberleague.com. That's 365.maddenbomberleague.com.
All right, there we go. All right, we're going to go back full screen. As a minute 18 left in this one, New Orleans, a field goal ties it, a touchdown wins it, and they've just picked up a first down. Little pass out of the backfield. Minute 13 to go. Arizona uses their second timeout. They only have 1 remaining.
I don't understand. I mean, I don't know. They got 1 remaining, so that's the ice that they're going to use here in a second. But I would have just kind of held on to it and said, hey.
Yeah, I would have.
Because I might think that I might be getting the ball back here, and I'm going to need a timeout or 2.
By the way, the Texans got a safety. Just
makes it a little interesting. I mean, not like they're going to, not
that interesting.
They've struggled to score. They got 2 field goals and a safety.
Tyrod's scrambling. But Navarro Bowman's going to run him down. No, absolutely not. They've got the spy on him hard. As that was actually just Navarro Bowman making a great play, only 4 yards. And they got to look out for that Tyrod Taylor scramble because that's been the only consistent offense we've seen from Tyrod.
It really has. It's just crossing routes, 1 reads, and then rolling with that read, waiting, and then taking off. Let's see. I think the Saints probably go to a little Alvin Kamara here, maybe a little swing screen to him.
Yeah, 50 seconds and counting. Shotgun formation. It's Tyrod Taylor dropping back, looks over the middle of the field. It is caught by Josh Hill down to the 4-yard line. Excuse me, that's not Hill, but 4 yard. They're gonna be short by a yard. a little angle route there. But wow, that was close to a first down. I think the refs got it right. Another 3-wide set, 33 seconds. Tyrod Taylor.
Handoff. This has got to be a handoff.
You got to give it to Kamara here.
Yeah.
29 seconds and counting. Nope, they're going to throw it, and Tyrod Taylor throws it, and he has a man, and it's Alvin Kamara into the end zone. Oh, they lost him out of the backfield, Bomber, and I hate seeing crash 3 inside the goal line. It's just not a very good defense, but right there, all they had to do was send Kamara out of the backfield. Nobody accounted for him, and it's a touchdown. The Saints take the lead, as, by the way, Deshaun Watson just threw another pick.
Yeah, that's just a bad throw. The user is just getting to this quarterback, and it's just over the middle is where he's looking, and he's just getting picked off after picked off as the Houston Texans looking like their counterpart in real life. Houston Texans struggling to put points on the board. Suspect quarterback play, suspect offense altogether. This team's in trouble.
And now Arizona's in trouble because they used 2 timeouts, and it didn't really get them a whole lot. They only have 27 seconds on the clock. They let the Saints score a touchdown, and that means they have to score a touchdown themselves. They're down 4. A field goal does them no good. Let's see what Josh Rosen can do. 27-23, New Orleans on top with 27 seconds remaining. Nelson going in motion, 3 wide receivers. Dropping back to pass is Josh Rosen. Looks up the seam and hits his receiver in the back of the head, and I didn't like the throw anyways because it probably wasn't going to get them a whole lot, and they were going to have to use that last time out.
Yeah, and also, I didn't like the defense. I thought that defense was suspect to give up a lot. That's a question. But once again, this could be a cover 4. I don't like this. I'd like to see 3 deep because Arizona's got to score the ball here. Watch Jermaine Kearse in the slot. He might be going on a streak here.
He is, and Hill's got a double move on the left side as Rosen, 3-man rush from the Saints, stepping up, waiting. He's going to take his shot, one-on-one, left side. Hill trying to get there, but it's an overthrow. Oh, my God, he dropped it.
Oh, my gosh, it was dropped. Why
Here's
did he
the
go
other
to the
thing.
streak?
I don't know.
Jermaine Kearse, why not just throw that ball? He's got 92 jumping, good size wide receiver. Might be able to make a play. Now they're 3rd and 10, 15 seconds left.
Well,
and now you're going to see the 3 deep, I assume.
You got to think. But, Bomber, here's
Still
the other
no 3
thing.
deep.
No
Wow.
3 deep. You got to think. Watch out for pass interference. Watch out for these receivers just running into those guys deep down the field. As I don't know what this play call is. I have no answers as to what this is. It's an angle route for Gresham, I guess, to pick up the first down. I don't think they even got it.
Yeah, I don't get
What's
what
the
they're playing
benefit?
for here. What are you playing for? You playing to win?
The
You
first
playing
down.
for the first down?
I guess he was playing for the first down. Well, now they're going to need a miracle hey, Bomber, there's the 3 deep right there. And they're going to back off. It's going to be a Hail Mary as Rosen's going to be looking for a penalty or a miracle. Thrown up to the right side, 4 seconds left. It's popped up in the air, and he has a man back there who's just not trying for it.
And there's still a second. Oh, that was 4th down. Okay. I was going to say there was still a second left. When I saw the user kind of roll out, I thought, man, this might tip right to him, and that might be devastating. I'll tell you what, the Saints are won by the skin of their teeth here. That was a lucky victory. I mean, that 4th and 1 where Tyrod Taylor rolled to the right side and just lofted the ball across the field. I mean, just to pick up 6 or 7 yards usually means interception, but somehow he comes away with the victory today. After everything that the Cardinals did, that's a tough way to lose.
Well, the Saints come out with their victory. The Colts come out with a victory. Bomber, the Saints won a little surprising, but I think the turning point in that game, that kickoff return at the beginning of the second half, that was huge for the Saints to get back in this game because the Cardinals really dominated the first half of play.
Yeah, they absolutely did, and you see a big-time run from a team like the Arizona Cardinals who respond back with a David Johnson to the house run, but it just didn't seem like the Cardinals had enough defensively in the end of that 4th quarter. They stopped getting to Tyrod Taylor. They allowed him to run. I think his runs outside the pocket really changed the dynamic of this game. He got outside the pocket, picked up a few yards, and always made that 3rd and 2, 3rd and 3. He just was really changing the dynamic of the game.
Well, another NBL Super Show in the books, Bomber, and both games got through without disconnecting. So positive all around, some great action going in. One more time before we get out of here. Let people know what's going on Sunday night with Building the Franchise.
All right, Building the Franchise this Sunday, 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. We have Indianapolis Colts taking on the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, the red-hot Tampa Bay Buccaneers. It's going to be live play-by-play broadcast, and before the game, we're going to talk a little bit of Indianapolis Colts, get into the show, followed up by a live show like we always do every weekend on the NBL Network, youtube.com/Madden Bomber League. Be there, 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time this Sunday live, followed up with a live stream. Tampa Bay, Indianapolis Colts should be a good one.
Should be a fantastic broadcast. Don't miss out on that one, folks. Appreciate everybody. Spend a little bit of their Friday night with the NBL Network. We're going to get out of here. For my co-host, Bomber, I am OSU. Thank you once again for tuning in to NBL Live Broadcast 244. Don't miss Building the Franchise. Indianapolis Colts, Sunday night, 8 o'clock Eastern Time, youtube.com/Madden Bomber League. Hit that follow button so you know each and every time we go live. So we will be able to catch you next time right here on NBL Live.